Well, good afternoon, everyone. Beast here coming from the high desert, and we just stopped here, grabbed a little lunch while we're out doing a little break-in on some parts of the KLR. We're going to give the Valley Food Storage a try. This guy sent me his food, and we're going to kind of go over it. This is one of 3 meals that I've been testing. I've already had the pasta primavera at this point, as you're seeing this video, and going to give it a shot. Stay tuned. Alright, this calls for 2 cups of water to boil. Alright, I don't know if you can see that in there. It calls for 2 cups. I'm actually just doing about a cup and a half. Most of my experience with these types of meals, you go a little light. As long as you have enough to cover everything, they tend to be just a little on the soupy side. So we're going to give this a shot at a cup and a half and see how Irish pub style potatoes works out. Alright, pros and cons so far. These are, I believe, hand packed. They are also flushed with nitrogen, which makes them a little bulky to begin with. Open this guy up, you can see how absolutely very little food product there is at the very bottom. And MSR wind burner. It's not going to take long to get this to a boil. And we'll turn it down and simmer for 10 to 15 minutes. Alright, it's been 15 minutes. Let's put the lid on here. Still steamy. And tilt this back so you can see in here. Still nice and steamy, nice and thick. It was starting to burn on the bottom, which is why I turned it off and just covered it. But I think just sitting there has softened that up because I don't feel anything on the bottom of the mug at the moment. Let me do a quick test here to see if the potatoes are done. Alright, there you go, finished product. A little less water is good, perfect consistency. Just letting it sit in a good insulated container for 15 minutes, and that'll rehydrate all your dehydrated stuff. I need a little chives or something here for some food porn action, but here we go. Here's some wheat thistle. Alright, I'm going to enjoy this, guys, and get back on the road. Good afternoon, everyone. We're out here just making some dinner out in the old high country of Oregon here. This is their chili bean from Valley Food Storage. You can see how much space you can save if you just transfer these into a bag if you know you're going on a trip. But so far I've been very impressed. This one smells amazing. Get our stove set up here. Just getting a little more level ground. We are going to be doing 2 cups of water. Yeah, that'll work. It's fine. Push that in the dirt. 2 cups of water, but I'm going to do a cup of water and a cup of beer. So we're again going to embellish. There is 8 ounces of water. The recipe is actually 2.5 cups on this chili. But if you want it thicker, they said use a cup. And as I've said in some of the other flavors, most of these sort of camping foods, I always go a little under anyway. Voila. I guess I'll have to drink the rest of this Black Butte Porter then. Shoot. Alright. Oh, getting some baby bubbles. Let's slowly add this guy in here. Just gonna take it off the heat. I'm gonna add the simmer ring on. Oop. That's a good thing I took it off the fire. Apparently the beer foams up quite a bit. I don't think we lost much. Alright, we're getting a beautiful taco orange color here. You can see just a light simmer, which is what I love about the Trangia. Hey guys, well, we're just at the half-hour mark. The beans are totally cooked. However, there's still just a little bit too much liquid for me, even though I went with a 2 cup. I probably should have done a cup and a half. But I've got the simmer ring off, and it's been simmering with the lid off, so it should have been reducing a little bit. However, I'm going to see if I can't just get this a little bit thicker. I even brought some dipping corn chips. Was hoping to dip chili in there, and a little bit of cheese to throw on there. So let's see if we can get this a little bit thicker. Otherwise, I might just fill it with corn chips. All right, well, there you go. It's not too bad. Threw in the little cheese, and I threw in some Fritos. See, it's thickening up a little bit. It's still a little too hot to eat, so it should thicken up as it cools. And then we'll take you back to the studio for a review. Hey guys, back at you with sort of a all-around wrap-up of the review of the Food Valley food storage. I don't know if you can see behind me here, but I'm actually doing this video from Longyearbyen up in Svalbard, which is actually the location of the Seed Vault, the World Seed Vault. So I thought it was sort of a better place to do this review than the studio. If you care about what the ingredients are that's in your food storage, where they come from, and someone who's equally as passionate about putting good ingredients into that, I think this is a great bet. Their product is good, it's high quality, the flavors are there. The individual packets that I've gotten as samples, you can see there's quite a bit of wasted space, so I would encourage you to look at maybe their larger bulk items if you're going to look into sort of an emergency food storage. I guarantee the folks here in Longyearbyen through their winters probably don't get that much fresh supply, so they probably rely heavily on food stores. If that's something that you're looking into, wonderful. I do think this is a great product. The pricing is going to vary depending on what you buy. As far as an overall camping meal, you can see the sort of incredible amount of space that nitrogen flush takes to keep that 25-year shelf life to the food. So in the second video you saw that I just moved it to a Ziploc bag. I think that's great. However, I probably wouldn't recommend this for just everyday sort of weekend camping stuff. The biggest issue for me for kind of a camping, hiking food is the amount of actual fuel that it's going to take. Because a lot of this product is dehydrated and not freeze-dried, it's going to take a lot more simmering and cooking. There are other food storage companies out there that have very similar product. They might not necessarily care about the sourcing of the food products like these guys do. But one of the things I've always stayed away from those companies is the same issue. The amount of fuel that you're going to have to carry on board, the amount of time it's going to take to get your dinner ready because of the amount of simmering. It definitely tastes better than freeze-dried. A lot of the freeze-dried products that you guys have tried, it tastes like camping meals. Now, when you're up in places like this, in the wild areas, a good hot meal of any kind is going to satisfy and soothe the soul. But certainly during emergencies, things like that, the everyday sort of comforts of home and good food is something that you shouldn't have to really worry about. If you're worried about security or the power or family members, things like that, the food really shouldn't be something that you're concerned about. That should already be covered. And I do think it's a great product. So check out their website below, guys. Give me any feedback as always. And take care. And I'm going to go hike around Svalbard for a little bit.